Oh, good morning, Kevin and Gil. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning.
Oh, doing great. Look at you dancing away on a Friday. Man,
Oh,
best
best day
day.
ever, huh?
It is. It is.
Oh, hey, Gil, how the heck are you, buddy?
I'm good. Yeah, and this is, I think, my first live video for I don't know, like 4 years now.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
So
no.
yeah, this is exciting. I'm back. I'm
Yeah,
back.
getting back into it and
Yeah.
it's like
It's
falling
just
off
like
a
riding a
horse.
bike, man. Just like riding a bike. Yeah.
No, falling off a bike. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
Really bad
That's
at
right.
that.
It's Fabric Fridays. We're falling off bikes over here, not getting on them. Oh,
Oh,
good to see everybody in the chat. Oscar, yes, best day ever. What it is, honestly, straight up. Oscar is right. This is my favorite way to end the week or start the weekend is with you guys right here talking about data, talking about Fabric, talking about these capabilities. So excited to have everybody here today. Um,
Donald was here early, giving us questions, right?
Oh,
Well, not really
100%.
a
What
not
happened
a
today?
real question, but it's kind of like verifying. It's the famous Gil that wrote the best Power Query book ever.
Right?
Yeah, no, even
Look
if
at
you need
that.
like
Oh, look at
to
that.
really want like to read it in a good way, I recommend this version.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd have a hard time with that version, but
It's easier than M, I think.
Oh, that's funny. Hey, Gil, you want to introduce yourself to the group? It's like you said, it's been
Yes,
4
yes.
long years you've been out in the desert. Let people know who you are. Welcome you back into the tropical oasis that we find ourselves in today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. I'm Gil Raviv. You can probably know that also from the label. Um, joined like this domain of business intelligence and data analytics when I started working as a senior product manager in Microsoft in Excel team. At the time, it was around 2000, between 2013 and 2000, end of 2015. I worked with the Power Query team basically to bring Power Query capabilities into Excel from being an add-in into a full built-in integration into Excel. So lots of work on deciding where to put the buttons, and do we need to hide the advanced editor or not, or the formula bar? What's the default in Excel, and like all this kind of discussions. And throughout this experience, I really felt in love with the capabilities of the tool. I worked with data a lot. I was a product manager of dashboards in the cybersecurity industry before joining
So
Excel.
you're why, huh?
So yeah, so basically that was like how I started. We moved to Chicago with my family, 4 kids and my wife. And for some time I couldn't do anything in US in terms of working permit for like around 8 months. I needed to wait. And that was a good opportunity to start blogging about Power BI on my datachant.com blog. And from there, moved to consulting, led a large practice of Power BI developers to work on large projects with Power BI. Had a break of around 3 years with the competition with Amazon QuickSight. And now I'm back. Wanted to do
Wow.
some cool stuff.
Well, we're excited to have you back.
Yeah, I think we're all going to see some cool stuff today. So we got a treat for everybody. So be ready in the chat because, we're going to ask of things for you guys and we need you to be awake on this Friday. So we hope you're there.
This is going to be hang on. Wait. This is going to be the most interactive and engaging live stream we've ever done. We've never done anything as big as this. I can't wait for you guys to check this stuff out. So make sure you're in the right spot. But we're going to be getting into that in just a second. Before we dive into that, first, a few rules. Number one, please ask questions Kevin and I are exploring what Gil's got to say, so we've got questions. But like, if you've got questions, put them in the chat. Me and Kevin will ask Gil those things. Please prefix it with a Q colon so that we can get that queued up for you. So like, we're happy to get those questions asked of you. What the heck happened to my? I had a thing here. What? It's like this is my first time ever doing this before.
it is the first time this week, so
yes,
it's always the first.
I've only had we just crossed 700 videos out on YouTube now, so
wow.
Still new, still trying to figure out how this stuff works, but so we've got a question of the day. We want to ask of you to leave this in the chat. What is your favorite what is your favorite feature that was announced at Ignite? Gil, Kevin, we're going to go to you in just a second here. So I want to hear from everybody what your favorite feature from Ignite is. And I also want to let you know about two things quick. First, it is we have our first affiliate, and that's Hexclad. So if you're looking for pans and whatnot, and you want to support the channel, these will last you your entire life. They're amazing. They're a little expensive, though. So if you're looking to support the channel and you want to get early access to all of our videos, if you head over and you become a member for as little as $5 a month, you can get early access to content. And if you were a member and you were paying attention on Saturday, you could see me accidentally almost break my NDA if you were like watching for like there's like a 60-second window where I had something set up wrong that I didn't realize that I reversed. But if you were a member, you could have gotten taken advantage of that. So yes, it's all okay now. But woo, I was sweating in that 60-second little window there. All right, Kevin, Gil, what was your favorite announcement from Ignite?
Gil, go ahead. You go first.
So definitely the new databases workload. I didn't see the demo, but I read it a bit, and this can be, I think, bringing more audience to the ecosystem. And I heard there was something around the write back, like there was something.
Oh yeah, Shabnam. I think Shabnam, was in the early preview of it, and she was big on doing write back. In fact, she was on this show a couple Fridays ago. They showed writing back to the data warehouse, and I think she modified that and put out a whole new post of showing it writing back to the SQL database, which is a great idea because it takes care of the small update problem, right? So that's a great use case for it, and I was glad to see she put it out there right away.
Yeah, so stay tuned to this channel. We are going to have Shabnam back on. We're going to try something kind of new because we want to help Shabnam grow her channel. I think we might be doing a Kratos BI Reacts video where me and Shabnam are going to talk through the video that she's posted. So more to come. Like, no guarantees that that's what we're going to do, but like we love to try new things on this channel. So we're always like looking for new ways to find this stuff engaging and fun, because like I love this stuff. I have super fun with this. Gil, you clearly love. Oh my God, that is so funny. Can you smell what the data god is cooking? Sorry. Gil, you love this stuff. Clearly, you enjoy this stuff, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Like to some extent, I learned in the last 3 years that like obsessing about your job and about your profession gets you to higher places, but also like you need to have some balances. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm still struggling those. It's really a powerful technology, and now I think the idea that everybody can grow their career and move from like data visualization to building more cool stuff, and even do like Spark and big data and real time and data science and all of those things together. This is like really exciting time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it sure is. But you know, that's enough of the foreplay here. Let's get into
I don't get
it.
get to talk about what
Oh,
I
I'm
liked from
sorry.
Ignite.
My bad, Kevin. We're doing it live, man. We're doing it live.
No, well, mine will be underwhelming now too. So, what I'm really interested in is
There's a new feature toggle. Womp womp.
Well, because none of them have rolled out to any of my tenants, so I haven't been able to look at them. But it was a little bit of a surprise to me as well. The new workspace monitoring, to where we're going to be able to see what the activity of different items are within that workspace and have that come into an event house, being able to write our own queries against it. From what I'm reading on it, I believe we're going to be able to kind of monitor that event house and find things that fail, right? And just have one place for that workspace.
So just like yesterday, we've been in the Chicago meetup for Fabric, and we saw a live demo.
Oh, really? That the one
Did you?
that Tommy and Mike put on?
Oh,
it was really
okay.
nice.
Tim Bindus, right?
Yeah.
Tim Bindus is the man. Like, y'all don't know all the stuff Tim is going through. Hang on, let's adjust this stuff for a second here. Y'all don't know all the work that Tim Bindus has been going through for years at Microsoft to make this even possible, because Microsoft's bringing together all of this like technology into one place. They're doing it in the front end. They do it at like an integration point, but the back ends, a lot of that is still very segmented. Mm-hmm. If you're going to do true like reporting and analytics, you need some unifications there, and that is a ton of work that Tim is helping shepherd and lead. And like, I didn't see his name get mentioned once at Ignite, and like, as far as I'm concerned, like Satya should be like calling it the Tim Bindus feature, and like that should be something that's out there, because he's doing a ton of effort on this. So if you know Tim, reach out to Tim and figure out why he's not returning any of my messages to come on this live stream and talk about it. I kid. Tim's very good. We talk, so it's fine. Awesome. All right. Well, like I said, we've got the best. We've got the best demo and most interactive live stream for the Power BI space ever. No live, and I am not making this up. This is not hyperbole. This is the most interactive live stream that anyone will ever be part of. So you're going to see it live right here. And before we get into it, Gil, you want to like help us understand what it is that BI Pixie is, how that works, and how we can interact with it today.
Yes, absolutely. So basically, and I can also share my screen, or we can do it a bit later as well. So just like in a nutshell, BI Pixie is a solution that we built.
Click on hide that little button there. Restream Studio is sharing your screen. Click on there you go. Good.
Yeah, thanks. So basically, it's a solution that gives you, and let me just like go from here for a second. I'm trying to struggle with the presentation stuff. So basically, let me just go here and just quickly. So if you are working with an organization responsible for mission critical reports, the idea that it's very difficult to measure the health of your dashboards, not on the technical level of performance and how much those dashboards are loading, but on the level of do they return on investment? Do they bring the value to the end users, to the business users that are consuming them? Like, how can you measure how much you are saving to your company or generating new opportunities with the analytic solution that you deliver? And that was something that I wanted to solve.
So analytics on your analytics.
Exactly.
What?
BI on BI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so true, right? I mean, report adoption, trying to find it, and we've had some basic things about it, but getting really kind of deep into it, this
Yeah.
is an area to look
So
into.
you're telling me, Gil, that I can go beyond like, okay, like, so if I have a report and I've got like 15 pages on their report, you're telling me I could see like what pages people are interacting with, or just that they're interacting with the report at all?
Yeah, so like basically the motivation came from the domains of digital marketing and
Mm,
product management for digital products and software as a service tools. Every software that is developed on Earth by like large companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and any like
Mm-hmm.
even small startups, it's really important to engage and build a solution that will understand the end users and how they are going through, the life cycle of their experiences. And for that, it was really important for me to really try to nail down the ability to capture as much as I can from the experiences of end users to allow the teams that develop those dashboards, Power BI reports, to be able to really understand how their dashboards are effective with their end users, what's the behavior patterns, and what they can do to improve it.
Wait, so when I think of that, when I have apps that I'm helping manage, I gather data to like show not just the pages or not just the sites that they're going to, but like actually button clicks and like how they're interacting with that app. Are you telling me that BI Pixie can show us how people are interacting with Power BI reports themselves?
Yeah, so basically that's the idea. Yeah, that's the point. So just like to give you an example here, I have it here as a summary if I find it.
I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you, Gil, I think that's impossible to do. I challenge you to show us that you can do this.
Yeah, you want
Uh,
to go straight to the
well,
main
no, I want
post.
to see. I want to
No,
see how you're doing it. Show us your
Yeah,
architecture.
yeah.
Oh,
So let me just let's do our live demo now, right? Like uh, so.
yeah, let's do it
Right.
live.
So just like to
yeah.
What
show
could go
you,
wrong?
right? I have here a dashboard.
Okay.
A dashboard. I call it basically, right? I'm sure that you are familiar with this phenomenon. That even though there is a Power BI dashboard items, everybody call their Power BI reports their dashboards, right? So this is a
Mm-hmm.
Power BI report that we have some like demo. The data is real, but this is like a COVID-19 uh, data, right? I have here like the global COVID-19 pandemic information. And this data even have data that is relatively recent, or perhaps it's not tracked anymore. But anyway, during COVID, I shared this dashboard with the community. So imagine this is an important dashboard for me as my business, mission critical one. And together with this, I may have thousands more of those dashboards that are important. And earlier I shared with you, and here we are using the publish to web link. So if you can share this link with the audience.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm going to share it in just 1 second though. I want to see like, okay, I've got the link here. Um, I'm going to click on some
yeah.
things. Like go over and show me what your thing can do. Like how can you get the information and like I'm clicking on something right now. I'm going to like have it out there and let's see if you're able to tell me what I just clicked on.
Yeah, okay. Hey, let's do that. So basically, BI Pixie has several components in it. One of them is basically to add some magic, the pixies, into those Power BI reports. So this report also has the pixies inside to track interactivity, engagement, usage, and the other part is obviously the collection of the data and then I'll show you later on also the analytic part as well. But for now, I have here, this is the Power Platform version of the solution. I have also the solution on Azure on a much larger scale. But you can see I have here a Dataverse table with BI Pixie events. And when I refresh this table, I can basically see the different events that are being collected. And if I will just, because, you know, the COVID-19 dashboard that we shared is public, I will be able not to see your username, but I will be able to see your IP address. So without
that is my IP address.
Yeah, so we are now like can
We'll be changing that today.
trying to hack your
Ruh-roh.
network, but basically,
But
so this is your IP
you're saying
address,
is,
right? And now I can tell you, okay, you add like you clicks on some visuals, so there is a VisClick event, and you open the COVID-19 report, global page. The name of the page is global, and I can see here on the right that basically you clicked on 3 visuals: a line chart, a table, and a line stacked column combo chart. And
Holy crap.
right, and you selected basically the date. This is the range of the dates that you have in your filter. It may be also the default one that exists right out of the box. I can see also the distinct count of dates. And you selected the country that you selected is Yemen in the world population country, and that was in the table. So the table has each row as a country, and you chose Yemen. Okay, and I see one
crap.
as a distinct.
That's exactly what I put in the chat. That is what I did. I didn't even realize I clicked on the other things because you know, I was just interacting with it. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So now, all right, he just put the link out. So you guys in the chat, this is now, you go out there and let's see your stuff coming through too.
Yeah. So we're going to give you guys a few seconds to click on the link. Open up Gil's COVID-19 Power BI report, right? And we want you to go in and interact with us. There's some buttons on the top. There's a table down on the side. You know, let's interact with this and let's see if you know, we can see that interaction coming in from Gil's report right now. So there is a probably a 30 to 60 second delay. Like we've never had a live thing before. Well, no, I'm saying
no delays.
Yes.
Well, there's a delay from the
just click
stream.
refresh and it's immediate. Right, I get the latest data. So like basically, you know, like we can choose a victim here, but if I will just scroll to the right to the IP addresses, I can see like.
Holy cow! Someone was clicking on Alabama, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Did someone click on Alabama, Wyoming, or a whole bunch of clicks on Alabama, Wyoming?
So you can see also. So basically, Alabama. This is probably like the A to Z scenario, right? So there is a text filter. The text filter right now, if you don't search for something specific, it will the default will give you all the results. Right, so this is what you see here is BI Pixie raw data. On top of it, there is the intelligence that create the sessions and do the analysis on top. So basically, I can understand that this event may be like the default selections, and other events are more important. So depending on the context in the session itself, definitely you see there is 56 states. Most likely this is a default one, but if I will have one state, I will be able to tell, okay, that's more higher engagement. So here we have someone clicked on a slicer in the specific, you know, global the curve page and selected US and also select, right? So yeah, some elements here are probably the default ones as well, but that's like how we can see the data. Yeah.
It's amazing. All real time.
Yeah, and now and now like also to show you, no, it's not just, you know, this is a great also product for organizations that have higher auditing restrictions and the need to understand how their audience are engaging, not just for the business value, but even for security compliance, you can basically get here an understanding of like if someone is abusing their power, right? There is a dashboard perhaps within like an import mode, and a lot of information is there, and some field agents should be able to work with their clients. But if they start slicing and dicing lots of things that they shouldn't do it so frequently, perhaps now this is perhaps a hacker that just got into their laptop and open the dashboard and do stuff to get information, to steal information from a dashboard, or it can be a row-level security flow. But I think the more important thing and the more common thing with BI Pixie is also the ability to understand like more the business value. And for that, in addition to just the things that you select on data, you have all those events and interactions. So for example, if you can go and use the other links with the audience, that can be really fun. And I'll tell you why in a second. So can you share?
So I just shared that other link. So please, everybody, go
so
click on that.
Okay,
hang on a second, Gil. Hold on. We've got it. While people are clicking on that, Aaron has a question. Can you tell if people are exporting the data from BI Pixie?
Yes, so that's a great question. I cannot tell the export event itself.
Okay.
It's easy. It's an easy feature because exporting is something that you can, I think, audit from audit logs, like the event logs. So at least not the anonymous scenario, but if you have an internal Power BI report, users that are exporting, I think there is an event about that. But what I provide you, not the event itself, but I can provide you for tabs for Power BI pages, where you have someone staying very long on that page and perhaps do some interactions. But the page itself is kind of like passive. It's only like a table with a lot of columns. I can basically give you the report of like, here are your reports and the pages that have passive elements in them. So if you have high usage there, meaning high number of people accessing those pages, then most likely they are only exporting to Excel. So in terms of the business value, I'll give you passivity score as part of that, and I'll show you that in the demo.
Yeah, so you might be able to combine it with what comes out from, as Christina said, right? You get that from the activity events and the REST API, and you could combine what you get in the activity event and here to have an idea of, hey, what's going on and see it. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, makes sense. So, any more questions?
No. Let's. So people have been interacting with that new report for a little bit.
So let me just also tell you. So here, as you interact, if you were kind of waken up in the morning or paid some attention, you can see on the top right there is a control with thumbs up, thumbs down. This is a control that BI Pixie adds to the first page or a specific page that you provide across all the reports that you use BI Pixie on. And that's for user satisfaction, basically. So if you click on those as well, we can now go and see live what's the satisfaction of that report, right? So you can see there is a thumbs up already for a feedback here, right? And all this information now being aggregated as well. So I can tell you.
This is amazing. Bernat has got a great question. This looks like magic. I'm pretty sure, even though you call yourself BI Pixie, you're not using pixie dust on this. If you do, please explain to us how you're not exploiting the poor pixies of Latin America, because we don't want to do that. Or is this a technology thing?
So this is definitely, I treat it as a kind of a magic. The magic is more about perhaps like super sophisticated implementation inspired by digital products and marketing tools. So basically, this technology introduces into the Power BI reports built-in visuals that are invisible, and they use basically the context in the report to send it into the web service, which is also available. This is not a software as a service. So basically, when you install BI Pixie, you install all the components on your side. The tool that adds the magic into the reports, the tool that collects the data as a web service, and the storage, and then the app on top as a Power BI app available on App Source to do the analysis. So, but just like very quickly to show you here a few examples for interactions that you can track. So you can see in this, if you see my screen,
yep,
I have here like 3 bookmarks. So if I click on bookmark 2 and bookmark 3, bookmark 2 just like made some focus on some page. It doesn't matter what I do, like the bookmarks can do all kinds of things. And I will be able to see the utilization of my bookmarks in the data. So I can see bookmark 2 was clicked, the person that clicked it, from which report, which page, and additional information here. In addition to that, if you have hyperlinks, dynamic hyperlinks in your dashboard, right? It can be as conditional formatting, like in this case, you can click on the hyperlink and it actually redirects from BI Pixie. In this case, this is a link to like a MailChimp account, a MailChimp list. But basically, if you have operational dashboards where the users that consume those dashboards need to operate and escalate some things and go to internal websites to do their additional investigation on data and anomalies or product defects, right? You can track all this information and see basically who is clicking and what's the engagement level, because those dashboards with clicks, so you can see here there is a link event, and I can see also which link was clicked and from which visual. So that was clicked from a table, and I have the table itself as well here. So all this information is available, allowing you to track basically the actions that your dashboard drive, because hyperlinks are typically the things that you want users to go to, and you can get that as well. In addition to that, you have tooltips. So if I will go here and open.
So it shows, I was wondering about that. If I hover over the tooltip and it comes up, you're going to see that event.
Yeah, you can see that as well. Right? So that's the tooltip.
Honestly, I still have to say, like, how do you do all this stuff? Do you have to rebuild every Power BI report to like embed this in every bit of functionality, or how does that?
Exactly. That's how I do that. And basically, while it sounds like a super complex job to do, BI Pixie has an automation that is using the Git integration and other Fabric APIs, allowing you basically to instrument the Pixies into 1 or 10,000s of your reports. And because the Pixie themselves are basically, in a nutshell, like just a bunch of table visuals, and I can even open one here to show you, right? So if you see my folder, this is where I instrumented the report. So I can open now, let's open the marketing report, for example, right? So you'll see.
So we're using the newer functionality of the PBIP file format so that it's all broken out. So we get it to these smaller files and opening up the PBIR itself.
Yeah, and to be more specific, the automation works on any format that you have. You may have the legacy format, like the TMSL and the legacy PBIR, or you have the new format of Tyndall and the PBIR folders. Doesn't matter what you choose. You can choose any combination of those, and the automation will do this work. So you can see this is the definition.
But would it still work against the PBIX, or you have to use the at least the PBIP
Great
format.
question. So because the PBIX is like officially was not intended to be manipulated,
Right.
it doesn't work on the PBIX. So you have like three options to get the files. You either manually convert the PBIX to PBIP and save them somewhere in the folder where you perhaps you'll probably anyway, right, in organizations where reports are mission critical, you store the PBIX somewhere, right, to keep tracking and maintaining it, like this is your source control. So there you can just convert it to PBIP and then run BI Pixie on top of it. The second option is if you use Git integration, then you don't need to do anything. BI Pixie will use the Git APIs, fetch the data, and I can show you also in a demo.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And then the Git integration gives you automatically, it doesn't matter if you store the data in PBIX on the workspace, it will get it in the new format. Actually, it's not the PBIR, it's only the TIMDEL and the old report.json, but this is just available there. So like just like to show you here, this is the Power BI report that is instrumented.
Well, hang on. Before we go to that, I just want to clarify a few things, summarize and clarify. So this PBI Pixel, and I think I like this. This allows you to track the largest, most, and I'm going to summarize this, and you tell me if I'm right on this. This is going to allow you to track all of the like Power BI reports that you really care about in your organization. And in most organizations, that means these are going to be things that are going to be stored in Git, that are going to be professionally managed, are going to be professionally developed, and are going to be professionally curated, right? So you care about, and I think it's companies care the most about those assets because, as you said, they spend 7 figures managing those, keeping them up to date. So they want to make sure that they're working, they're getting good value out of it. This is not something that people who are just throwing together ad hoc reports or just like playing around with something or doing that like citizen developer, it's not necessarily for the bulk of a reports that an organization would have. Is that right, Gil? Am I kind of summarizing this correctly?
Yes, in a nutshell, this is the main use case that you mentioned. The primary scenario would be for mission critical, for centralized reporting, that you really manage them professionally, and it's intentional, right? It's not an ad hoc, it's something that you really want to be able to manage and improve. And the improvement and the measurement of the success of those dashboards is important for you, right? Because those dashboard reports are helping you in the business. This is the way for you to do it in an informed decision manner.
Well, and I'd also imagine that this allows you to create KPIs to help you value the success of the teams who are building on stuff and the success of reports.
Exactly.
Right?
And we can go through that as well. So the other thing and just like to give you kind of like a challenge also on like, is it for anyone or not? I do think that like if I would be in a large enterprise and I have a certification program where there are so many reports being developed by very smart people from the business side, there may be like hundreds of thousands of those reports on large enterprises even, and you have some certification program where you do want that the centralized BI team will over time take some of these reports and make them more efficient. Or you may want to make all the capacity scenarios optimized on not on performance, but basically like you want to combine performance with business impact, right? So if there is one report that is very problematic, you can basically now tell the user, even the user doesn't need it, but you can tell the user, you know what? Do you still want to stay in my capacity? You must use now BI Pixie, and you need to prove me the impact, the business impact of this report. Because if I can only see page views, and this is what you have out of the box with Microsoft, the usage metrics functionality, right? It's only page views. But with BI Pixie, you'll basically get all the KPIs, and now you can decide if you certify the reports or if you allow them to stay on the capacities.
That's
Oh, I
interesting. I
love
can
that.
see that.
Yeah, you include this as part of your certification process to say, okay, step 1, add in the BI Pixie. Step 2, achieve X level of utilization or usage.
Interaction,
And then step 3, we promote it and we keep it in IT for as long as you maintain X level of performance and utilization. And if it dips below this, it either goes away or gets handed back. Oh, I like that quite a bit.
And it feels like you would also, during that process, you'd add it in, and like you said, you're monitoring it for a little bit. And then if you're also seeing performance problems, you could drill in and tell the person, the author of the report, hey, it's this particular visual, and let's start looking at what's in the back end model. Let's get the performance before we fully certify it and get it out there and eat up the rest of our capacity. So
So for example, with regards to performance issues, even though our current version doesn't go on the performance aspect like you can do with like log analytics and see the DAX queries, but you can see based on the interactions, right? From the visual sides, you can get the interactions. So here, for example, this is a new heat map that I'm going to release next week that basically get you the number of clicks per visual, right? Allowing you, I can select like a specific report, like the COVID-19, and this is not. I need to refresh. I'll not do it now, but basically I can see each one of the visuals with how many clicks and the other things that you saw, like the things that they select, and you can use it both for optimization of user experience and data visualization aspect, but also to correlate that with any challenges that you have on performance as well.
Right. Yeah, you would correlate it against the other data. It's wonderful.
And obviously, you can also basically just look on problematic reports that you may know they are problematic on the performance side, and now see their business KPIs to decide how to mitigate, how to, do you want to be very forceful with the people that develop those reports, or be more polite, nice, and help them optimize that? That will be depending on the impact they do on the business. So if they have a very high number of active users, and there is even like good customer satisfaction from those reports, and a lot of interactions, and there is a growth of adoption, right? This is the example of like the adoption of the specific reports. Right? You can basically then decide what to do with those problematic reports on the capacities. And I owe you one answer on the pixies, like the magic in terms of like where is it, like as we mentioned,
let's
modify
kind of get
those reports. So I just wanted to show you, like, so this is the instrumented reports that we used in the demo, and you can see when I go to the selection pane, there is a group called BI Pixie, and you can also in the setup give it a different name. And basically, you will find here a lot of things, right? And all those elements are basically, if I click on one of them, that doesn't matter where I click, all of these elements are, you see, table visuals. So just like very little tables with a measure, and the measure is also generated with the automation. And you can see here, if I will go to view hidden components, I will also have a folder of measures, and these are the Pixie measures that are put in those tables or in hyperlinks as well, with the intellectual property of BI Pixie to give you all the context.
Oh, that is
so
smart.
So now basically, if you are a developer that require to make changes on DAX and things like that, everything is grouped together. So it should not interfere with your daily work. And the calculation themselves are not performance challenging, because it's all, the use cases, the things, the data that we send is mainly only distinct count on dimensions, so it shouldn't be performance killer. If, by the way, just to give you an example, if you would use a slicer against a fact table instead of a dimension table, and that slicer is very slow, and BI Pixie will create you suddenly a performance issue, then it will basically help you understand how this is like someone here build a very problematic report if that scenario happens. But you can also, you have a very, very flexible configuration, so you can decide which features to apply on which reports. You don't need all the tracking on some reports. You can just turn off some features.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, this is just fantastic. I'm just, this makes tons of sense how this works. It makes, so basically at the DevOps stage, you're adding, through automation, you're automatically generating, by reading through the code base that's in your PBIR file, you're generating all of the measures necessary to track that information and to send, not just track that information, but to like send that information back and write it to Dataverse, so that your report writers don't have to, your report authors don't have to know how to integrate it or know how to like add in custom visuals or anything along those lines. All of that stuff is just built in. Is that right?
That's right, with one specific
Okay.
like information to say, like if you see on my screen here, in terms of like the deployment and the architecture, the Dataverse is what I call the starter version, because
Okay.
many people can just like have permission on their Power Platform. They get an environment and they can deploy that. But if you want something on a larger scale, you have from the Azure Marketplace the solution template to instantiate a function app and a storage lake to get everything that we showed you today. Will be, instead of a data lake, will be on your Azure Storage Gen 2.
Okay.
Right, so like
yeah, so we it implements, so you get the app over on the functions in the Azure portal, and it implements all those functions, and then you know what code to generate into all those measures that you showed us that cause those functions.
So like in this example, you basically see the enterprise version, like on the deployment, where the data is stored on a data lake instead.
Yeah, and so then since it's on a standard Azure storage account, you could shortcut this into your Fabric environment and even look at the data differently, right? Besides what you give out of the box type of thing.
Exactly. The idea is that everything that we collect in BI Pixie is like the customer collects, not me. We will not have any information stored on our side. It's all deployable by the customers, and they control the data. They have the data. So that's like something that we will not.
So there's no risk of exposing PII or PHI data to BI Pixie, because all of this code, all of this data is run on the client side. Gosh, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So like if you see my screen, right, if you will go to Azure Marketplace, and so you can just search for BI Pixie. I already had the link, but basically, search for BI Pixie, and you can find on the marketplace the solution template, and basically from here you can just install. And yeah, I'm not sure like if we want to do it now, but I can even do it live. But basically, you can install the components, and then you'll have a function app and the storage. And that's like, even in the sweet thing about let me just quickly just like show you the beginning of that. Okay, so like I'm now logging in with my Azure account.
Hold on one second.
Okay,
Definitely.
Yeah.
so you see, I have your solution template. I click continue, and now you would see as part of the deployment, right? And that's like 5 minutes of effort, right? So that's like the deployment uh, solution template. There is also like a managed app if you want, managed app that the customer has access to and control. I don't have access to it, but if as a solution template, you just create it and it will instantiate the components on your cloud. And just like to show you, let's say if I take here like let's take like something here with let's even like create a new one test.
Yeah.
And basically when I go next, so here I'm providing a unique name for the function. Function app, it's like the web service that listens to it. And
Okay.
you also have the storage account. You can use existing one or that you already have or a new one. It will create ADLS Gen 2 for you to use. And also, I think the nice thing about it for like all the Fabric fans is that it comes also with the option to instantiate event hubs, meaning that now you can even build real-time dashboards from the data on Fabric real-time intelligence.
Yes.
What?
And the data
Yes.
is stored. So the same demo that I showed you on Dataverse, right, like probably like in a month's time, 2 months' time, I'll have very good real-time components as well.
Oh, that is fantastic, man. That is just great. I'm blown away by all the stuff that you put together here, Gil. Oh crap.
So another thing, there's got to be your automation tool. Is that downloaded to your desktop? Because
Yeah,
what you
so
showed
that's
there
like
is all the back end stuff
yeah,
going in, right?
yeah. So basically, that's an executable that should run on a Windows machine.
Uh-huh.
And you can set it up as part of your existing Git scenario. So basically, like if you already have some automation in place and to do some things with your reports on a large scale, like you may have some scripts that are running somewhere, so you'll be able to install the executable in some like computer where you have that process and add it into your pipeline to do the instrumentation itself. So it's just an executable that receives a configuration file. You will basically need to feed the configuration file with the URL of your function app, right? Or the Dataverse. There is a Power Automate data flow, and that allows you just to start the instrumentation itself.
Okay. And then let's just touch on kind of like the life cycle, right? The maintenance of it. So I have a brand new report that I decide I'm going to put Pixie onto. I'm going to run that automation the first time and then, put it out there. I'm going to see some things. I'm going to make some improvements. So I'm changing my visuals, right? Deleting visuals. I'm adding new ones, whatever, changing something from a line chart to a bar chart. I run the automation tool again and it updates and puts the right measures or removes the other ones and publishes it again. It becomes part of my publish process. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the intention. And if you stop doing that, right, you will be able to keep using BI Pixie if you want, but it will stop collecting accurate information for you because you'll move visuals. So now if you want to use the heat map, the visuals will not reflect the right position. If you create a page, the new page will be ignored. And by the way, all these things are also relevant when you use built-in tools like Microsoft Log Analytics that give you performance by the visual GUID. Right? Like if
you changed.
now you move the GUID, you copy paste the GUID or duplicate, just bring the PBAX to another workspace. Like things will have the same IDs then. So like that's the way to make it refresh is to know the inventory of your reports every time they change, and then the tracking will be accurate.
It's amazing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
So, Gil, you've got a website, bipixie.com. Is that the best place for people to go to get more information on the
Yeah,
solution?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So bipixie.com, you can learn a
Mhm.
bit more about the product. You can basically, if you like it, you can start a trial. Definitely, like anyone who attended the session today, reach out to me through the start trial and you'll get an extended option 45 days.
Oh, wow.
And know that the base trial is for 3 reports for a month. And
Okay.
we can do more for your audience, obviously.
Well, fantastic.
So
A
you can
50% increase in the trial just because you are on the Kratos BI live stream. How
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
And just like I wanted to mention one last thing here is that there
Mhm.
is you may know my experience as a blogger and writing a lot of content in the book. So
Mhm.
there is a user guide, very, very detailed with everything that you would need to know about BI Pixie and how to set it up. It can take only 30 minutes to complete everything with
Mm.
just the default and the mandatory things that you would need to set up, like the URL that I mentioned for the
Mm.
flow. But for like everything else, if you want to do more than the default, you can just like use this user guide to learn how to configure the things, and that's like really easy and simple to read.
So if you really want to get the most out of it, read the flipping manual.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just reach out to me and I'll help you.
That
Exactly.
sounds easier, Gil, but that doesn't scale. But
Yeah, I know, but it's important to at least to have you the transparency. So if
yes.
you are interested, and I can tell you that it's these capabilities can bring so much power to professional BI developers to make like informed decision on anything that they optimize and improve. So I guess it will be worth the hour of reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% Gil. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank everyone for being in the live stream. Hopefully that you found this as useful as I did. We've been tasked with these as professionals. We've been asked about this type of functionality for a long time, and I've cobbled together some solutions that I thought were good, but now I'm embarrassed to even reference because Gil has truly mastered this space. Do check it out. This is one way to really hone your abilities and hone our implementation. So that's great. I am also going to share in our chat the book of news for everything that is live at Ignite this week. I know we talked about a handful of items earlier today, but I mean, just like every big conference, there's so many new features and functionality that's out there that we haven't had a chance to like go in and review and play with yet. I know I'm behind the 8 ball because event streams is now GA, so that's
Mhm.
awesome. And I've played with it all of
One time
one
on
time.
the live stream,
Yeah,
and we failed.
yeah. It's
Probably, yeah.
but there's all sorts of stuff out there, and Aaron is spot on. I want to take just a moment to thank Gil, thank Kevin, and thank you guys so much for coming in. Even if it's your first time or if you've been here for all the times, we are so very grateful that we get to
Very
come
grateful.
together and talk about data. And in this time of year, it's really, I think it's a good reminder to say thank you and to be grateful for what we've got.
Now we do plan on coming on the Friday after Thanksgiving, right? So
That's correct. We will be here. We'll be
hopefully
a
you
little
will too.
logy. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully you'll be here as well. So turn it on, live stream us while you're, doing all that Black Friday streaming, running around Targets and
If you're
wherever
going
you go.
Black Friday, you're doing it at 4 a.m, so you're good by the time we're on. That you're back in ready for data.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we will see you guys next week. Everybody have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Gil, Kevin, any last words?
Gil,
Just thank you for the opportunity to be here with you guys. It was really fun.
thanks. I
Awesome.
enjoyed it. It was great to see you.
All right. You guys all have the best day ever. Peace.
Peace.
Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.